Hello, everybody. Reggie Time here, and we're about to spend around 45 minutes or so reviewing a bunch of hands I've tagged for review. I've broken my what was it called? The rule I put on myself, the bounty I put on myself, but I haven't, if you will. I am morally breaking it. I've created an account on Bwin, so I can play under like an unouted screen name rather than be playing on Party Poker where lots of players who watch Channel will know my screen name. And I've been playing some speed poker. The rule was that you had to spot me playing on either Reggie Time or It's Reggie on the two sites. That's not going to happen. It's a bit naughty of me. Don't really give a fuck. I've just got a real desire at the moment to study hard, review a load, absolutely shit tons of hands, and just improve. And the normal site I play on, so many multi-way pots. It's just hard to use GTO to study, so I'm just playing some speed poker again. And yeah, if you think I'm a bit of a cunt for doing that, then fair play. You're probably right, but never mind. Anyway, this is hopefully going to be pretty good content. I did one of these or two of these the other week, and they seem to go down quite well with people who like either replied on the videos, not very often, or like commented in Discord or messaged me. So they seem quite popular. So let's crack on. Basically, we play the hand in the replay here. We decide if we like what we did, and then we go to GTO Wizard and we see if that likes what we did, basically, and then see if we can learn anything from it. So here we have two kings. It's 3-bet versus under the gun open. They call. Jack Queen 8 flop. Not the best of flops. They have probably all sets in their range. They also have like probably at some frequency 10-9 suited. Um, they check. We check back. Turn 5. They bet big. We call. I'm happy with all of this so far. I don't think we have to bet this flop when we can, but I don't think we have to. After checking back flop, just calling the turn bet seems reasonable. River, they bet whatever that is again. 3/4 pot, thereabouts. We beat value here. We beat bluffs. It's just an easy call, isn't it? And we get on with our day. I think the key decision point here was like on the flop, do we see it or not? I think as played, this is pretty standard. And Villain showed up with the nuts. What a surprise. So let's see how this played out in GTO land. Raise pre-flop, 3-bet, obviously double tick. Flop, check. We're checking back here half the time. And it's the most frequent play. So happy with that. Turn, we're just pure calling, or close enough to pure calling. And river, we are calling 70%. We're actually doing some jamming here. So that might be quite sexy sometimes, but I almost never find it in game. I don't think. I mean, I don't. I just don't have 10-9 here. It's just not a hand I 3-bet button versus under the gun. Maybe I should now and again. But yeah, I'm happy we got all ticks. We even got a 2 tick on the river, although we could raise. So we're happy with that one. Wouldn't have done anything different in game, and GTO wouldn't have done anything different. Happy days. On to the next hand. We have an ace-5 suited. Small blind opens. I think we can go either way here, 3-bet or call. I think I probably prefer 3-bet, which is what we do. I haven't reviewed any of these hands, by the way, so there's every chance I might say I prefer something and then do something different in game, but we do find the option I prefer this time. Villain calls. Completely brick the flop. He checks. For good or for bad, I'm probably going to range bet this for like 1/3 pot. I just like the fact we've got the backdoor steel wheel draw. Villain calls. Turn is a jack. And probably this turn doesn't do anything for us whatsoever. I'm probably going to check this back close to 100%, which we do. River 6, now bets and think we have an easy fold. So there we go. Like I said, all I've done is for getting these hands, it's pretty much just hands that have gone post flop, and there's like multiple streets of action in terms of like it's not just like I've gone post flop, I've c bet they've taken it down or whatever. We're normally going to be seeing multiple streets. Otherwise, it would be quite boring. If every time I raised a pot and then c bet with read or limited check forever. So I have run a few filters, but not too many. So we're getting an orange for this one, which is, I think, inaccuracy. So we've done something wrong somewhere. It looks like we've done something wrong on the flop. Probably we shouldn't have c bet, or maybe we should have c bet using a different size. If I had to guess, I'd say probably it's more likely to be a sizing error than a frequency error. I think there will be some c betting of the flop. Anyways, we 3-bet pre, which got 2 takes. Then checks. Yeah, it's checking, but it's wanting to use bigger sizes. Fair enough. That's once I saw the inaccuracy, I kind of thought that's what it might be. It is checking a lot here. But when he does bet, it's using 50% and 75%. Just something for me to bear in mind going forward. When we see betting these dry boards in position, we're probably not using 1/3 as often. Maybe that's the takeaway from this. Let's see, in general, like if we go to study this spot on the flop, what's our... We get to the flop, checks to us. So in the big blind, check your 56% global frequencies, and small bets are rarely being used, very rarely being used. Okie dokie. And then the rest of the hand we just get all ticks, so it's obviously going to like what we've done. Check back turn and just give up river. Yeah, so okay, sizing error on the flop. And frequency error, because I'm c-betting that too often. I'm probably c-betting that close to pure, and I'm using the wrong size. So I've got, even though we've only got a sizing error in GTO terms, I know that I've made a bigger error because I'm c-betting this nearly all of the time, and I clearly shouldn't be. On to the next one. Ace Jack offsuit. We open blind versus blind. We get a call. Get a pretty dry flop. A very, very dry flop. We got the backdoor nut flush drawn 2 overs. I'm probably going to c bet this all of the time. And I do. And calls. Turn an ace. I think just continue betting. And I think I'll probably end up going with my 60% size here. Yep. Calls again. River 4. Just bet again, 60% pot. I think that's probably what I'd want to see myself do here, which is what we do. Villain raises. What's Villain saying he's got here? He's saying he's got a deuce. 5-3. So there's 10 raise. I think I should probably just fold here. I don't know how much deuce X he has. Probably not loads. Some suited, like probably like 10 deuce, jack deuce, queen deuce, ace deuce, king deuce suited. Maybe like deuce 3 suited. Pocket tens doesn't necessarily always 3-bet pre. Don't think he's raising an ace. 5-3 seems unlikely. Where his bluff's going to come from? Well, we've got the ace of clubs, which I don't know if that's relevant or not, to be honest with you. Where his bluff's going to come from? Like, yeah, in fact, the ace isn't relevant because he had the nut flush draw, he's obviously now got. Oh, if he would have had the nut flush draw, if we didn't have this card, he obviously would have had a pair. He wouldn't need to raise. As his draws, his bluffs. Sorry. All I can see from my untrained eye is maybe the occasional 6-5 suited, 7-8 suited, stuff like that. Maybe turning 5-4 suited into a bluff, etc. I think this should just be a fold, though, which is what we did. Let's see if the wizard approves of that play. Good stuff. We've got 2 ticks, and we've got 2 ticks the whole way, so there's no reason to rush through this. No reason to labour this too much. We open, obviously, to get good result. We see bet 1/3 only half the time. I'm probably doing it pure, but there is some checking here, and there is some bigger bets. So again, I'm probably overdoing it with my frequency here. Turn, it's wanting a whole different range of bets, but we've found the most frequently used size one. But we can overbet. Yeah, we can check very infrequently. We can use bigger bets. River brick. We bet, which is the size it would have most frequently used. It raises, and it's not pure folding. It's mixing between call and fold. We got the 2-tick option, but I didn't think this was particularly close. This is saying it's close. Let's see what bluffs GTO has here, and let's see if we can compare them to what bluffs we think our actual real life opponents will have here. So river, okay. We need to move this along, don't we? So well, we've got 2 here. River, we bet that, didn't we? Big blind raised us to that. Oh, sorry, we don't need that. Like, what is big blind's raising range here? Do I think ace 4 off? Yes, they have that. And where are the bluffs coming from? That's what we're looking for, aren't we, really? And 10-4. Do I think my opponents are turning 10-4 into a bluff? No. 10-5. No. Basically, some 10x is turning 7 into a bluff. I don't think my regular opponents are doing this. King 10, yeah, it's finding a lot of bluffs from the 10x region, and I just don't think my regular opponents are doing this. So I'm very happy that I fell into fold in the end there. Look at all this 10x. It's just like basically most of the bluffs are coming from the 10x region, and I don't think villains are doing that in these games. I don't think they're taking the 10x here and they're turning it into a bluff. There's a bit of ace 5 off as well. Doubts happening. So yeah, happy with my happy with the way I played that hand. And happy that even though it's like mixing between call and fold here, I'm happy that I'm almost pure folding, because the types of bluffs that GTO's finding are not the types of bluff, in my opinion, that regular opponents at 25 and I'll poker are finding. 10-9 suited, we open under the gun. We get a call from cutoff. I think I will be checking this flop. Villain bets on the larger side, easy call. Turn trips, check again. Villain game bets on the larger side. Don't think there's any raising here, just calling. And river checking again. Villain now bets this size, and now do we find a raise? Do we find a raise at this point? I think ace 9 would raise. King 9 probably raise. Queen 9. I don't think I'm raising here. If we should or not, I don't know. But I'd be surprised if I find a raise here. I don't think it's. I just don't like our kicker. Obviously, he can have some stronger hands too. He can have some full houses, pocket 5s, pocket 3s. Don't think he has pocket 6s. 8-7's got there, although he maybe doesn't always play 8-7 this way. 4 deuce doesn't have that. So maybe we do raise then. But does he like call pocket 10s, pocket jacks that hasn't 3-bet pre if we like raise here? Maybe. First I was thinking, no, it's not a raise. No, I'm going to be honest. I would never find this raising game, and I don't think I'm going to find it here. I think it's just like in real world too hard to get caught by worse. We need him to have like pocket 10s, pocket jacks, pocket queens here that hasn't 3-bet pre, and then find a call on this river when it's pretty dry and we don't really have any missed draws we can rep. Yeah, I think it'd be too thin because we just wouldn't get called by enough hands. So I'm going to give myself a pass on that. But let's see if GTO Wizard gives us a pass. Well, we got one tick, and I think turn is where I think we maybe didn't get the full tick. Maybe it wants to check. I imagine it wants to check raise turn. It's all it can be. It can't be fold, can it? So it has to be check raise or maybe lead. Maybe it has turn leads on the repeat 9. We'll see. Yeah, we know what happened so far. We're getting all the ticks. We're still getting all the ticks. There is some race here. I wouldn't like doing that. Yeah, it's having some. In fact, it's almost never checking the turn. It's almost pure leading for 1/3 pot on this turn. I can see why. I can see the logic behind it. Like going out of flow like this, it seems quite unnatural. When you're in like the rhythm and hustle and bustle of a game, it just seems like natural just to check. But maybe it's a good learning going forward. When I've checked top pair on the flop and it turns into trips on the turn, then just leading small, that's a really easy thing to remember and quite easy to add to your game. We didn't do that, of course. He bets again. We called. Once he bets again, there's no check raising, or there's very little. And river check, call. Yeah, again, very, very, very small amount of raising. So I'm giving myself a pass on that one. But we got marked down for not finding the turn lead. I can live with that. King, queen suited. We're going to 3-bet this, I would imagine. Call. Flop nothing whatsoever. 2 overs, backdoor flush draw. I'm probably going to see bet this, and I'm probably overdoing it. I'm probably going to use 1/3. He calls. Turn, we pick up a flush draw, but it's really not a good card for our range. So we do improve our equity, but it's really not good for our range. I think we're just going to have an absolute ton of checks here. And if we do bet, as I imagine, we're just going to use very large sizings. I don't. This is annoying. So obviously in game, I just been like, oh, returned equity, just fucking put a bet in Reg Carcon. I think this is bad. I think we're going to get marked down pretty badly for this. I think we're going to be checking this at a very high frequency. I think when we do bet, we're going to be using a far bigger size than this. Villain punishes us for our shit play, or what I think is shit play, by raising. We have no choice but call, of course. River is a brick. Villain checks. So when the villain check raises and doesn't bet this river, on the turn when the check raises, saying like, I've got ace deuce reg, I've got pocket fives, I've got all the sets. I've got 7-6. That's what they're saying basically. They're saying we've got a set or we've got a straight, and then they don't bet the river. They're not saying they've got a set or a straight anymore, and we've got king high. So I mean, I guess we have to bluff. Whether I find it in game or not, I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if I just check this back like a fucking wimp. But I guess as players, we get here like this. I guess we just have to shove and just fucking try and fold out some random nonsense. Don't like it though. I did find the shove, and Villain did find the fold. I think we're getting told off for this one. Yep. So we have got it's only inaccuracy, which is better than hoped for, and flop and turn both inaccuracies. Not surprised with either of those things. I did say that I wasn't sure. I think I'm overdoing the c-bet on the flop in these spots. So I'm not surprised. Well, maybe it's just a sizing thing and not a frequency thing. So we did 3-bet. Was there any calls there on the button? By the way, is it a pure 3-bet? It's actually calling way more than it's 3-betting. I am trying to build more calls into my game, small blind especially. But yeah, now I know this is like pretty much not pure, but it's close enough where we can just make it pure. I like that. I like that. Um, call, check, yeah. So we are C betting very high frequency, just using bigger sizes, basically. So this is a sizing error, not a frequency error, which you can live with. Turn, check. We should bet bigger again, which is what I was kind of saying, wasn't it? You know, if we're going to, I mean, it's just literally never. I did think there'd be quite a lot of checking here. It's just not doing that. It's just like fuck you, I'm betting big, and that's all there is to it. So I was very wrong on that. I thought there would be quite a lot of check. There's just basically none. So we had a sizing error. Villain raises. We just obviously have the pure call. Villain checks river, and we have the pure shove. So some good news, some bad news there. Our errors were only sizing errors, not frequency errors, and we did find the mandatory river shove. So yeah, again, I'm really pleased with like, the outcome again because like last week I was getting like more just blunders and red circles. Don't think we've had one yet. Which does show that because I'm doing this work quite a lot between sessions, it does show it's maybe working because my errors are being now maybe they're more sizing related than frequency related, which is quite a step in the right direction. But having said that, we haven't done many hands yet, and there might be some epic blunders to come. Next hand is 8 suited. This one's not going to be a bit right. We'll just run through this one because it's not a GTO spot. We ISO called check. Yeah, we just run through it. Nothing much to see, I suppose. Do I bluff the river or not? I guess is what I'm asking here. And I think we should bluff the river. You know, we have ace king galore, pocket queens galore, pocket jacks galore. It's a mandatory bluff, isn't it? We go all in. Villain calls. We hit the straight. Whoopie do. Well, I went through that way too casually. Maybe it isn't a mandatory bluff on the river, but it is in my world. Because we can't double check it with GTO Wizard, then we'll have to just take my word for it, won't we? We 3-bet the ace jack suited, obviously completely standard. Get a cold call from the button. So again, this might not be a GTO spot. It might just fuck us off straight away. Flop or flush draw. I guess we can do some checking here, some betting. That's not me copying out. I think both are on the table. So if I am going to be mixing here, it doesn't really matter that much what I do, unless GTO tells me otherwise. I did find that, who's surprised that Reg found the 1/3 pot C bet like the shit rig that he is. Turn 5, so we do pick up some additional equity. Shouldn't change much on the board. Check or enormous bet, I would imagine. I go with the check. Villain bets half pot. Call seems reasonable. River brick. Check. All in. Fold, I guess. Right, so that might not be a GTO spot. Let's have a look. Double good news. It is a GTO spot, and we didn't get a error. So that's good news. We found the 3-bet. Is it ever flatting? Yes, there is having some small blind flats. Look, 11.5%. I like that. I like the fact that we can have small blind flats. I do like it. As an old school reg, I fucking like it. Call. C-bet here. It's going to be checking. Yeah. I did say I'd be mixing here, but it's just not a mix, is it? It's 91%. That's pure in my book. We did go with the bet. Called. Turn. Check or bet 1/3. What I was saying. Check or blast. So, yeah. Definitely my sizing needs work. Well, as if that's a fucking shock to anybody. Then some all in. Wow. I presume this was just call all the time. There's actually like 40% of the time, or near enough, jamming here. I like that. I like it. The old school Reg would have done shit like this. He'd be like, oh, I turned equity. I can't be drawing dead. Check and then shove over a bet. But over the years, this has been ironed out of me. And I like it. It's making me nostalgic. This shit's making me nostalgic. I like the fact we can just check fucking Rippy with our flush draw and gut shot. I like it. And then villains check, and then yeah, just pure fold. So happy days. Pocket sevens. We open under the gun. Small blind call. Who knew a set was coming? Check. And with versus small blind here, I typically size up versus small blind when I'm c betting because their range really is quite weak, and especially on these boards, you just shouldn't have many flush draws. Shouldn't have a set of queens. Really, only a set of fours to worry about here. It's just like not a good board for him. So I usually size up here, which is what we've done. He calls. Turn a board. Check. I think we're going to be doing some checking here, then a lot of like very large betting. I find the overbet. Okay. Call. River 10. Check. We've got an SPR of one and a third maybe. All in, I guess. Hope he's got a flush. And he folds. So I'm happy with how I played that. But as usual, let's see if our friends at GTO Wizard are happy. So I've only got one tick. I was assuming we might get more than one tick here. So what we don't have the river. Oh, okay. I like that. I like he's just fucking folding pre-flop. Pocket sevens under the gun. Yeah, fuck off, mate, in the bin. Oh no, sorry, folding the Monday. Ignore me. I was liking the audacity of it just folding it. I'm a fucking moron. Of course, it's never folding it. I know it falls like deuces, threes, fours, and things. I thought it was just like saying "fuck you, pocket sevens" there, and so like the knit inside me really liked it, but obviously it's not. I'm being a fucking idiot. Ignore me. Move along. Um, Flop. It's like in my. Well, I went with 60%, but 50% here. It's like in that. It's getting the double tick. Although it likes even bigger too. But I was on the right line to like versus small blind. We want to have more large bets, not so many small bets. Turn 4, we went with it once overbet. Just didn't want an overbet the size we went. We went with like 175% or close to. It wanted a smaller overbet. I can live with that. And then River, it likes the jam. So I misread the things at the start. I got a bit excited. When I first saw it, I saw like a blunder. I saw like an all-in blunder over here, and I thought, oh, that's not like in the river all-in. I was just like, oh, I overreacted because I'm a fucking boomer. But yeah, we'll take that. The only mistake we made was with our sizing on the turn, and it was not even that much of a mistake. It wanted overbet. It just didn't want the overbet size that we used. So I'm taking that. I'm very happy. Next hand, we have a king and a 10. We open. Button opens. We 3-bet. Button calls. Flopping a flush. I mean, we just got a lot of offsuit stuff here, haven't we? I think I'm about to blunder. Because in game here, I just know I'll be like, yeah, 1/3 c-bet, mono flop, 1/3 c-bet reg. Do we have many flushes? In our small blind, we have what, like ace king suited, ace queen suited, ace jack suited. Yeah, I guess we do. Like queen jack suited, 10 jack suited, queen 9 suited. Yeah, maybe we do have some flushes, but not many, because we have we have the 3 suits that aren't flushes. They have a lot of offsuit stuff. So whilst we do have flushes, do we have many, so to speak? Someone's knocking at my door. I'll be back. Just someone coming upstairs do some gas checks. We can carry on. I've explained to me, hear me talking, but I'm not losing my fucking mind. So yeah, I think probably a check because while we do have some flushes here, we also have a lot of hands that aren't flushes. But I know I'm going to bet because I'm a fucking idiot. Villain calls. Turn. Here's the board. I don't know. I honestly don't know. I'm just going to continue betting here. I know I am. But I don't actually know what the correct play is. We bet. Villain folds. So I don't know. Maybe we played that hand really well, and I'm learning something, or maybe we butchered it. But either way, I'm definitely going to learn something from this hand because I have no idea what I should have done on the turn. Yep, we butchered it, and I'm not surprised. Flop and turn both butchered. Pre-flop we know is fine. So I'm not going to take a lot of time over that. Flop, a lot of checking. A lot of checking. When we do bet, we bet even smaller than I bet. We bet like 1/5 pot. So that's an inaccuracy on the flop. On the turn, it's just a wrong move. Small bets would have been inaccurate and not there. Just checking pure, isn't it? It's just pure checking. So, yep. We avoid the triangle because there is 0.5% of betting there, but that's a triangle. As far as I'm concerned, that's a red triangle, and it's the first one that we've absolutely butchered. Never mind, that's why we're doing this. We live and learn. So we know in future we flop flushes in monotone boards, 3-bet pots out of position. We don't just start going, oh, cool, let's build pots. Let's put lots of money in. We don't do that. We've learned that. That's good. Maybe if we change the board, maybe it changes. Maybe if it's like I don't know, if we were to say we go and study this spot, does it change much if instead of the 3 of spades, we get rid of that, get rid of that, and we put, say, the ace of spades out there? Does that change much in terms of our flop strategy? We chose the board. I'm butchering this, aren't I? I am absolutely butchering this. So let's just like do it from the off. Let's start all over again. So button raise. We 3-bet. Button calls. We're going to put an ace high flop down instead. What was the rest of the board? Ace 7-9. Why is it just not doing this? I've clearly fucked something up on it. Never mind. We'll look another day. In fact, no, we can't. Can we just like get rid? Because I want to know. I want to know this shit. So just bear with me. Button raise. Small blind 3-bet. Button call. Flop ace 9-7. Yeah, we just, even on ace 9-7, we're just checking our entire range of mono boards. So yeah, we've lived and we have learned. Queen 10 offsuit. Small blind open. We call. I don't know if this is just pure or if it 3-bets ever. Flopping a gut shot. Half pot c-bet. Not a size I would expect to see a like someone who's studying make. Maybe it is. I could be wrong. This might be a good size, but I usually expect like regs who I think do a bit of studying using like 1/3, 2/3, 75%. Very rarely going with the half pot size. But maybe that's like me just thinking, well, I don't use this, so it's bad. We float. Turn 3. Villain checks. I presume we're going to start bluffing now. Be silly to float this flop and then not bluff the turn. Villain calls. River break. Check. I mean, we're just going to bet again. Just like what size we're going to choose here. Well, I'd want to value bet a king here. What would be like my worst value hand? I'd want to value bet. Definitely want to value bet a king. I wouldn't want to value bet a 9. So king's bottom of range. I'd have pocket 9s, pocket 7s here. Pure pre, because I almost never 3-bet them. So we've got sets. Do I ever have straights? 8-6 suited? Yeah, definitely. So I definitely have straights, definitely have sets. King. Yeah, I'm going to want to go big here, but not over bet, I think. Probably like 75%, something like that. Which is what I did. We got cold, and we'll have king 8. So Let's see how much we're telling off we get for this. We're getting told off for a river sizing error. That's all. I'll take that. Sorry, flop. Let's not rush through things. Flop, pure call, never doing anything else. Cool. As good as pure. Maybe a tiny bit of raise, but as good as pure for the call. Turn, we are checking 30%, which is the preferred play just about, and I chose the least used size of all the sizes. Yeah, another sizing error. So it's got what that's at, like 30% small, and I don't know, maybe not. It's got like 30% check, 30% small bets, 30% bigger bets. So not that bad. I'm not going to be like too critical of that. River check. We went with 70. Well, I think 75% is the size I've got. It's wanting to just give up 50% of the time. I mean, it does bet. He just wants big. He just wants over bets. And I'm a wuss for trying to do it cheaply because maybe overbet works versus King 8. Maybe if we do find the overbet. Yeah. So again, another learn there that if we are going to bluff these spots, just fucking don't be a wimp with it. I'd have been sat there thinking, oh well, I want to value bet a king here, so I would want to use this size because I want to value bet a king. But if I also want to value bet sets and straights, then it's just we go into over. But once I can have sets and straights, and I want to value bet, and I can have sets and straights, then we just go into overbet on river, don't we? And stop being a moron, Reg. Right, one last hand. Pocket kings. Raise. 3-bet. Call. C-bet flop. And he shouldn't have sets here. When we 3-bet, he shouldn't have 6s and 3s in theory, I don't think. But I think they do in practice. Queen X. A lot of Queen X. Although we block quite a lot of it with our 2 kings. We block flush draws. I'm going to see if I use a larger size here. Of course I don't. He calls. Turn. Check. Surely we go with the big size now, Reg. I wouldn't be surprised if overbet's a thing there. And river. I guess we're all in. He calls. So I think I've got reason to question my sizing on flop and on turn. I mean, he's just like, whatever, LOL, what a fucking idiot. But I think I've got decent reason here to question my flop and turn sizing, both of which I think should have been bigger. For some reason, this is a non-existing GTO spot. Don't know why. Let's run the replayer and see why this is non-existing, because I don't understand why it is. Oh, we should be using half pot, 1/3 pot. It's basically big bets, as I thought. 80% of the time we're using big bets here. Turn 3. We should be using big bets. I went with this one. And now it's all in. So I don't really understand what's non-existent about this, but whatever. Yeah, I don't understand why that's non-existent, but it is. Because I don't know any video on that note, let's do another one. Two ladies. Open 3-bet from big blind. I already know I'm never 4-betting this, not versus big blind. Maybe we should, but big blind versus under the gun. Do I want to 4-bet queens? Reopen the betting? Nah, not in my life, not in my world, not in my house, not on my sofa. We won bets. 55, 60% pot. Call. Chain king. Bill and bets 2/3 pot. This is just aces all day, isn't it? I remember this hand. I folded very quickly. I was very confident that as an exploit, this is just going to be fine. He's just going to have aces and ace king nearly all the time here, and kings. I think that if continuing here with queens, I think is an absolute torch in reality. Whether it is in practice or not, who knows? But I think in reality, continuing with queens here versus this line is just going to be an absolute torch. Let's see what the wizard thinks. Oh, we're getting some takes. We like that. Obviously, we know pre's fine. It's calling almost pure, so happy with days with that because that's my default line. Flop call, easily the most used play. Raise a little bit sometimes. I can get on board with that in some spots where we have an overpair, but not in under the gun versus big blind. I don't agree with this in actual games that we play. Turn king, he bets again. We should call 70% of the time, apparently. I disagree. I actually disagree. Let's see what his bluffs are meant to be here. And let's see if we think between us that your typical villain is calling these bluffs. Is making these bluffs. The big blinds betting range here is. Well, first of all, do they have all these king X's? No, they don't. Ace 4, ace 3, ace deuce. Some of them might be there once in a blue moon. Look at all this value that we're crushed by. Ace 8 off, not in a million. Ace 5 off, not in a million. Ace 4 off, not in a million. 5-4 suited, maybe. 6-5 suited, not in this life. 8-7 suited, not in this life. 9-8 suited, not in this life. 10-9 suited, not in this life. Queen 6 suited, not in this life. Queen 5 suited, not in this life. No way. Absolutely no way is this a call in practice. In theory, apparently it is. In practice, no, that's nonsense. I'm putting this down as absolute nonsense. 70% of the time we're supposed to call here in GTO, maybe. In practice, no, absolutely not. I'm taking issue with GTO Wizard here. This is the last end of the video, and I'm taking issue with it because I think it's way off here in terms of like the advice it's given to microstakes players in microstakes games. I think this one is way off, and I'm standing my ground on it. But that's the end of the video. Hope you guys all enjoyed it. I know I enjoyed doing these. I enjoy making the videos. I hope some of you guys enjoyed them. But whether you do or not, I'm going to keep doing it because it's just really good practice for me. You can't help but improve if you keep doing this. You can't help but improve as a player. You're just going to like when you continually like run these spots and you see the mistakes you're making, then as you keep going, you see yourself making that fewer and that different type mistakes. It's got to be really positive. It has to be. So yeah, expect a lot more of these. And yeah, see you in the next one. Take care, everybody, and bye bye for now.